Hey guys, this is a series that we're going to be doing where I'm going to be having a look at some Peach players' uh, recordings and seeing where all the technical mistakes are and what they can do about it. So this is Trill Jake's Peach, despite what the title says. This is Trill Jake playing. So we're going to have a look at what he's doing, try and spot any of the technical errors, and then go from there, see if we can come up with some advice for him in the end.
So we're going to spend the first stock or two of this set looking at body language to determine, because we don't have hands.
Just get to the beginning.
We don't have hands.
Right.
If we had hands, it would change the game, and then we would see it immediately.
Right.
Missed or cancelled straight away there. This back air here... Okay, it's fine. There's some situations where technically it might be a strategic error, but I'm not going to worry too much about strategic errors because they're not technically errors and may have use in a different situation. So that back air in particular had a very low... Go back to that back air.
Right.
It was covering such a small area, and a float cancel back air could technically have covered the position better, but there could have still been a reason to do it.
What I can tell you is the Falco starts off hot.
This tech
nice
there.
Downer up tilts, sometimes getting the right.
Good back.
What I can tell you is the Falco starts off hot.
The solution to this one wouldn't have been to
What I can tell you is the Falco starts off hot.
land the tech, but where did you lose your double jump?
What I can tell you is the Falco starts.
Hang on, I think Blur just talked at the exact moment.
What I can tell you is the Falco starts off hot.
Yeah, either you missed your double jump when he up tilted you, or you had it the whole time. If you missed the double jump input, if you got up tilted out of your double jump, then that is probably a situation where you might have been better off waiting until you got hit by the up tilt and then jumped out, or if you after the fact, it would have been better to use forward air to auto cancel on the platform to avoid the tech, or just tech.
The nice downer up tilts. Sometimes getting the right placing of the down air can be tough on the floaties to continue a combo.
Yeah.
Down air was questionable, but not technically a technical error.
Yeah.
Okay, so Trill Jake's definitely the peach. I'm calling it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so Trill Jake's definitely the peach. I'm calling it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fallout after being lasered into
so
the
definitely the peach. I'm calling it now.
Yeah.
into the down air, this particular movement here. I wonder what exactly you're going for. In any case, the down air was not L cancelled. I know it's tricky to L cancel something when you weren't expecting it to happen, but top players are usually able to actually see it coming. You should know that you're about to make, like your move is about to be interrupted, and you still have the opportunity to get the L cancel. So again,
Like
should have been able to L cancel that one.
Okay.
This
Looks like it for sure.
You gotta read the faces.
that's fine. Just a misplay.
Yeah, he missed the chain grab and then he started shaking his head.
Yeah.
We're making the call.
Yeah.
We're making the call.
So the current names at the top are actually backwards. Wooly is the Falco. Trill Jake is the Peach. Names at the
It's
top
hard not to comment on. I mean, I kind of understand you're giving him a lot of respect with that shine to not just shield grab it.
The Falco. Trill Jake is the Peach.
So with this up air, missed the fast fall
Wooly is the Falco.
after the landing.
Trill Jake is the Peach. Current names at the top are actually backwards. Wooly is the Falco. Trill Jake is the Peach.
You just
Names at the
listen.
top are actually backwards. Wooly is the Falco. Trill Jake is the Peach.
Yeah, pretty sure you missed the fast fall there.
Ooh, I thought
It definitely looked like it, at least. That wave dash was not had quite a bit of airtime to it. That one. That was a bit of a had a little see there. Bit of airtime on that wave dash.
He gets dash tagged.
Even that one.
He gets dash tagged.
Yeah, a few of them are a little bit too much air, like the few frames of airtime that's going on.
Because this is near the end of our block, we're actually pretty far in.
Some people would have pointed out that perhaps you could have jump cancel grabbed this grab that you missed over here. I'm not a big proponent of that. I think it's worth going for the dash attack because you should never be grabbing with the intention of missing. And Peach's grab is faster dash grab rather than jump cancel grab. So this, to some eyes, this might look like a mistake, but I don't think it is.
Because this is near the end of our block, we're actually pretty far in.
Shouldn't be considered.
Yeah, I would assume this is maybe to make it.
We're actually pretty far in pool.
Yeah, I would assume this is maybe to make it to round 2 or
pool.
yeah, I would assume
This is near the end of our block. We're actually pretty far in pool.
yeah.
Yeah, this is minor. It's very hard to do anything about this because you can tell exactly what happened, where you were dash dancing and then got
I would assume this is,
lasered, and
maybe
then
to
you
make it
started
round
turning
2
around.
or close to it. Yeah.
Because this Falco is also looking
Technically
hot right now.
Yep.
possible to fix, but extremely difficult to.
Definitely moving,
It's pretty
looking
forgivable.
like a gold or platinum level player on net play. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Shout out to all my gold Falcos. You know, getting comboed
Okay, this is
every
all
day
good.
just for my pleasure.
Okay, I'll go back.
You know, getting comboed every day just for
This
Yeah.
Shout out to all my gold Falcos. You know, getting comboed every
no,
day
that was
just
good.
for my
That was
pleasure.
good. This is could be improved. So the float back onto the edge to grab isn't fast forward, and so it takes you longer to get there.
Ooh. I wonder if
Yeah,
you're down
oh,
here.
wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And if you didn't want to, if you were deliberately doing it that way to change the timing, then it may have been better to float backwards, stall in front of the ledge, and then fast forward the
Yeah.
time that you wanted to.
This is looking rough for Trill Jake right now.
You'd have more control that way.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, we could have shined that.
Trill Jake right now. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, we could.
The ordering of the way that you did this float cancel is a little bit awkward
Oh, we could have shined
because you can
Jake
definitely
right
hear the
now.
double jump come out.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, we could have shined
So if you wanted to double jump cancel into him and attack, then you should just double jump cancel and swing into him and attack. The float just kind of makes it awkward and slow. Like you can see
Jake
just
right now.
from the way it was
Yeah.
executed, like there's this awkward like little back and forth that you did. You're kind of moving double jump in way, and then you have to move back and look at where the starting position of the back air is. Could have just double jump cancelled into him, and you would have at least saved float in case it didn't work, and you would have passed through the center of the stage, like on your way down, like double jump cancel nair or something like that.
a dream. Oh, no, Dion.
He's looking very comfortable with the
Yeah,
combos
again
on
with this
foot.
ledge grab, no fast
Dream
fall.
a dream. Oh, no, Dion.
He's looking very comfortable with
Technically,
the,
I know that it's kind of not relevant in this particular situation because it wouldn't have mattered, but you want to always
combos
get it
on
right
floaties,
every time.
though. It's, as you mentioned, not easy for Falco to do. He's doing
Losing double jump in a flow cancel.
with the combos on
This
floaties,
has
though.
got to be
As you
edited
mentioned,
out
not easy for
like
Falco to do.
immediately
He's
for
doing
every
the,
Peach player.
Jumping over and
Cannot,
then coming
you
down
can
with
never
the down air,
let
which
yourself
is
get into
one
a
of the
habit of
things
that
the,
because you'll just get crushed for it later on. Getting
the
hit out of it
combos
with no
on
double
floaties,
jump,
though.
it's very
As you
costly.
mentioned, not easy for Falco to do. He's doing the jumping over and then coming down. As you mentioned, not easy for Falco to do. He's doing the
There's quite an awkward pause here for how long it took you to do the down smash. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, we don't know whether or not, like, with my frame by frame is counting frames perfectly, but we're looking at least 8 frames of idle time before the down smash came out. And he was able to get a shine out as well. If your spacing wasn't favorable, then you could have been hit by that. It's just fortunate that it happened that way. If your intention was to do back air into down smash right from the beginning, then this is far too slow. You need to make sure that you're, as soon as you're landing from your flow cancel, you're doing the option instantly, as quickly as possible. 8 frames is definitely room to be
jumping
improved.
over and then coming down with the down air, which is
Both
doing
a
the,
missed fast
jumping
fall
over and then coming
and
down with the
a
down air,
missed L cancel as
which
well
is
on the air.
one of
But
those
the
things that
missed
the,
fast fall is
jumping
reasonable if
over
you
and
wanted
then
to
coming
sustain
down with the down
air time with that one. But the L
Which
cancel is
is
definitely not really
one of
forgivable.
those things that not a lot of people think about.
Falco as a character has a ton of character-specific tag.
Yeah, things that not a lot of people think about.
Falco as a character has a ton of character-specific.
One of those things that not a lot of people
It's
think
it's
about.
hard to comment on this
Falco as a
particular
character.
situation because I feel like this is such a weak option, sorry to say, but I can't see any situation where the Falco would actually run into this. Considering how much Falcos love to just bear or laser like that, or down air in this case. Like Falcos just never run in like directly at you, so this is a very unusual option, and so I can't really defend both its missed fast fall and the way that it was executed in terms of dashing away, because it has no float speed to it as well. Like you stall in place for a long time, you have to slowly generate movement. Like this is a situation where a hyper float back air would be much quicker, but I still wouldn't even recommend that in this situation. So this is kind of where technical and strategic are overlapping right now. So I won't comment on it too much longer, but yeah, this is just an odd choice. It was an odd choice compounded with the fact that it wasn't really executed that cleanly either. This back air fast fall was missed.
Yeah. Like it's so a lot of people try
that there definite airtime loss. You can see the move hits, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It took you 10 frames to land. It should have taken like a third of that time, maybe 3, and then you would have had time. You can see the position where he is right now. You would have been able to follow that up with perhaps a dash attack, a fall off aerial, or something like that. But then you missed it. And in addition, we get a little bit of a sneak peek of another. Oh no, yeah. You had the right idea. You even did the slip off aerial, but your airtime was too slow, so you didn't get there in time. But if you had got the fast fall, you'd been able to get. Possibly could have gotten that combo. I think realistically, you probably could have clipped the dash attack on him dying out like that, and popped him back up.
Right.
Parastorm is fast fall.
And I recommend it because he's hella fun.
Right.
But yeah,
right there.
A lot of people try to pick up a secondary Falco, but and I recommend it because he's hella fun. Right. But yeah, you have to learn a lot.
You closed the parasol, but it wasn't a fast fall.
Definitely stranger to combo them.
That was good.
But very doable.
Don't know if it was intentional, but
no punish.
I would have got hit by that.
Okay, yeah, we got a few clean things to happen right there. So I'm just going to talk over them because we want to get too bogged down in all the mistakes. Fast fall you got on that nair, which is good. Kept you safe. Kept the dash attack. Wave dash was clean. And that the surprise nair was L cancelled. Missed L cancel on the back air. I reckon that was probably a technical error. I have a feeling you wanted a dash attack, but it's hard to say.
Oh, what if the frying pan was a dream, and then he jumped. Oh, what if the frying pan was.
There's an awkward delay with your float cancelled nair here. We're just gonna have a look at it. So after you enter float, you actually stay in the air for an unusual amount of time. There's like, it's like 4 frames or so, it felt. I don't know, it just seemed kind of slow. It seems a bit minor, but I don't know. Maybe because I have high expectations with float cancelled nair. I think you could have done that faster. It was about 4 frames slow.
Can't get too antsy here.
Oh, could have gotten a down air if he got the dash right.
Right.
Okay, that's fine.
And not quite.
Not it, yeah. Ooh, jab gets crouch cancelled. That is one of the risks of jabbing. Ooh, jab gets crouch cancelled. That is one of the...
Crouch cancelled. Sorry to laugh at Blur for a second.
Ooh, jab gets crouch cancelled. That is one of the risks of jabbing.
Back air, barely
okay.
do it. Yeah. There it is, Wooly taking game 1.
So far there's a few questionable floating
took the foot off
with double jumps and floating, and also missing fast falls. That's what I'm noticing right now so far.
On the other, to lose that game.
Yeah, you gotta. It's good. You know, it's true. Or when.
Well, straight away, I could hear that. The double jump is lost on the platform runoff. This may be the way that you're inputting a runoff float. So you want to make sure that when you run off, as soon as you leave the platform, you're holding down. then pressing your jump button forward
Or
air,
when in the
because you absolutely must have run off the platform and then press jump and then down. You don't need to do it in that order.
never let them ever take
Down
slow.
and then down and then
You
jump,
gotta
not
keep it up.
jump and then
Yeah,
down.
Or when in the
Because you lost your double jump, and that could be really risky. You didn't suffer for it, but you will eventually, and I'm sure you have before. That fast fall was missed,
you gotta keep it
but
up.
this seemed
Yeah.
really unexpected.
the most
Even like
demoralizing-
it's like maybe you weren't expecting to actually land that, but the float cancel bear fast fall was
way
missed,
possible, you know?
which made it possible. See how he power shielded that? Would not have been possible
That's true.
if
Or
you
when in the
have a look. There. 2, 3, 4, 5. See, Peach is quite floaty, so it takes her a long time to just touch the ground, only being so close to it. It takes about 6 frames, and you got 4 frames of landing lag. Down smash is a bit slow, was about 2 frames slow. So you stacked on about 6 unnecessary frames there on top of what could have been a really clean back air down smash. And then he was just able to, he even walks into it, he was just able to shield in time. He had about 2 frames of, he had a couple of frames there, but at the end of the day, with the amount of extra time, you were cleanly connected back air down smash without him being able to do anything.
Right, the classic
So it was
Dreamland
executed a
counter
bit
pick.
better, and I think you use your double jump again.
True. Alright, the classic Dreamland
Yeah, you did.
counter
I can
pick. No
see,
ban on Dream-
I can tell because
True.
there's unusual air movement
Alright,
going
the
on.
classic Dreamland counter pick. No ban on Dreamland, but
So
I imagine
once
the ban
again,
was probably
airtime in the wave
the
dash.
classic Dreamland counter pick.
Have a
No
look.
ban on Dreamland, but
I mean, it's kind of obvious, but
alright, the classic
Just trying to-
Dreamland counter pick. No ban on
after your down smash. It's funny how you weren't expecting him to make such a huge mistake. Yeah, you can see this kind of boop, 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 boop. There
but
shouldn't
I
really
imagine
be
the
any
ban
of
was
that.
Probably at the instead to avoid the chain grab.
Yeah,
Makes your wave dash take longer, and
But I
also
imagine the ban was probably
doesn't
at
go as
the
far.
instead to avoid the chain grab.
yeah, that's a solid man.
Yeah.
I won't comment too much on
Ban was probably at the
this
instead to
back
avoid
air
the chain
because
Yeah, that's a solid man.
it seemed like you wanted it to linger, and it actually kind of worked for that reason.
Ooh, tries to wave dash out of shield, shine the dash attack on shield, doesn't get it.
That was good.
Yeah, much better
Look
start.
at that, the momentum.
Did you lose
Shine
your
the
double
dash
jump
attack
there?
on shield, doesn't get it.
Yeah, much better
Look
start.
at that, the momentum.
It's impossible to
Like,
tell
momentum
because
is
of
so
the
important in this
commentary,
game. It's
but
nuts.
it's
Yeah,
possible you
really,
lost your
really
double
good
jump there
from
running off the
Trill Jake that he
platform.
did.
So if I were you, I would practice running off platforms and entering float without using your double jump because it's not hard to do, but also it will be costly if you can't do it properly.
Not just kind of lie down and give
Skill
up
cancel.
on game one.
Nuts.
Yeah, it's really, really good from Trill Jake that he did not just kind of lie down and give up on game one.
Pretty
Yeah,
sure you
been
missed
able
L
to
cancel. It's difficult to
that
tell, but
momentum.
it feels
Need
like
that
you did.
confidence.
give up on game one because
Yeah.
he's been able to keep some of that momentum going.
You need that confidence.
Yep.
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
Okay.
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
Okay.
Another wave dash that was a little bit airborne. We're talking like 1 or 2 frames, but it needs to be.
DIs
a lot more
on
silkier
down
than
airs,
that.
I could see them being better. Both DIing away, omphoteching, a lot of these things would
That was a
keep
good L
Trill
cancel.
Jake alive a lot longer.
Kind of
Omphoteching, a lot
trying to
these
double
things
jump
would,
out of
keep
combos
Trill
that you
Jake alive
can't.
a lot
This is so. I should once again. It's not really a technical in a way. It's kind of a
better.
strategic
Both
error.
DIing away,
Try and
omphoteching, a lot
double
of
jump
these
out of the
things would,
situation,
keep
but
Trill Jake
you
alive
clearly
a lot
can't double jump away from that. So you lost your double
longer.
jump now. It was just fortunate that he wasn't able to
These
extend the
things
combo.
would, keep Trill Jake alive a lot longer.
The better option might have been to
Teching,
just
a lot of
be
these things would, keep Trill Jake alive
either
a lot
being ready to tech or
being
react
better.
while
Both
also
DIing
mashing
Sometimes,
breakout
DIs on down airs, I could see them being better.
breakout.
Both DIing away, omphoteching,
Did I go too
a
far
lot of
back?
these things
No.
would, keep Trill Jake
bra-
alive
mashing nair is what I'm trying to say, because it takes about 3 more frames than nair to come out to actually get out of that kind of position in the first place. So you may as well just use
alive
nair.
a lot longer.
And if you're lucky, you get the hit, and if you're not, well, you're in the
So
same
this,
position
this
anyway.
Falco
And
is
at least
good
you haven't lost your
combo
double jump.
floaties, But there's some things that I would like to see Trill Jake do to counterplay it a little bit.
Let's go back a bit.
So this Falco is good at comboing
I think you need to.
a lot longer.
I think you need to lab your options.
So
this particular situation here, I wouldn't say lab. I think you just need to be more confident in your decisions relating to this situation here. Again, not quite technical related, but it's hard to look at without commenting. Basically, you can tell that the cogs are turning in your head too much, and it slows down your reaction time. You should be thinking about what are the two situations. He's either going to go up, left, or right. And so basically it's going to be either I'm going to have to deal with him on the platform, or I'm going to have to react to him going to the right. So your brain's kind of thinking right, because that's the weird option, and then onto the platform is you just react. But he went right, and then you could see there was like a delay of like, oh yeah, not really. I'm curious to see how long it took you to move out of the position. I'm not sure if there's IASA frames on this, so it might not be. It might be a bit deceptive. Yeah. See how like it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 4 frames lost in kind of like a thought process of, oh, he's, I'm slightly not expecting it, and that you don't get there in time. You could tell that you would have gotten it had it not been for the slow decision process.
But
anyway,
some things that I would like to see Trilljik do to counterplay it a little bit better.
Right.
Trilljik do to counterplay it a little bit better.
Right. Okay.
Like, you can't be letting Falco get stuff off grab.
Yeah,
like, just
yeah.
period, actually.
Yeah. Definitely should be able to get out of that.
Yeah.
Miss dash.
Stuff off grab.
Yeah,
like, just
yeah.
period, actually.
Yeah. Definitely should be able to get out of that.
Letting Falco get stuff off grab.
This is frustrating,
Period,
but
actually.
there's ways to try and avoid it from happening. I think in this case it's because you crouched and then try to dash back after crouch. The crouch was probably the actual mistake here. So you did the despair, and I think it actually connecting changed the timing for you. Maybe you considered down smashing, but then realized that he actually went too far, and then you tried to dash back out of crouch, causing you to get this slow turnaround, losing a bit of position.
Ooh, jab shine. Still risky though.
Losing your double jump again.
No?
I can hear it and I can see it as well.
Ooh, jab shine. Still.
Pretty sure you did it right there.
Still risky though, you know?
Should be able to get out of that.
Yeah. Ooh, jab shine. Still risky though, you know? You get shield grab, you never know.
It's hard to. I wish there was a version of it without commentary, because it would be much easier for me to tell.
Counter pick paying off, but
I'm gonna say it's likely, but technically you could have wiggled out.
Oh, get the turn up. He could have gone a down smash. It was right in front of him.
Yeah. Oh. And nicely done, but a little risky. Yeah.
Okay, let's go back.
Oh, get the turn up. He could have gone a down smash. It was right in front of him.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, that one was a bit more confident.
Oh, get the turn up.
This is the difference of like being confident in your next option.
And nicely done, but a little risky.
Right in front of him.
Yeah. Oh. And nicely done, but a little risky.
Right in front of him.
Yeah. Oh. And
Uh,
nicely done, but
I think it's fine.
Smash. It was right in front of him.
yeah. Oh.
This was probably the best moment you've had.
Done, but a little
It's
risky.
possible that it could technically be performed better
And
in terms
nicely
of
done,
the position, the way that you landed the
Right in front of
attacks.
him.
yeah.
But
And nicely done, but
I think it all came down to what you did here,
yeah.
the finisher.
And
So
nicely done.
it took you too long to return to the stage, because returning to the stage is important. You're not killing him. As soon as you got the
He could have gone a down smash. It was right in front of him.
Yeah.
as soon as you got the nair,
And
got that weak nair, you should have been like, oh crap, it didn't kill him. He's likely to get to the edge. I need to get back to the stage straight away.
nicely
But
done, but
there's a
a little risky.
yeah, it's a bit slow here. So you could have
Get the turn up.
parasoled
He could have gone a
sooner
down smash. It was
to
right in front of him.
instantly snap to the edge, instead of having the open parasol
Nicely done, but
that made it so that you had to slowly fall back to the edge. So you could have already been in this position much earlier, and then the moment you would have recognized that he had to go onto the stage, would have been able to just stand up and down smash him back off again. So yeah, this is a bit of a judgment mistake in terms of the fact that Falco would be able to make it back, not getting to the edge fast enough using parasol after you completed your combo, and then also choosing to roll
Okay, yeah,
in
not
this
able to
position
get the
as
edge
well.
hog.
But I guess the situation was different in reality.
Okay, yeah,
A single
not
wave
able to
dash
get the
there,
edge hog.
no fast fall on the nair
But
after it
risky.
missed.
Okay, yeah, not able to get the edge hog.
There, quite a long time to
Nicely
land
done,
onto
but
the ground.
a little risky.
Okay, yeah, not able to get the edge hog.
As a jump around, a lot of jabs. These are net play tactics. I don't know.
Boy, that's not a
As a jump around, a lot of
extremely
jabs.
questionable
These are-
recovery. Okay, so let's talk about this in two different situations. The situation where you are committed to this option, like you've suddenly found yourself in this position and you have to make do, and what you really realistically probably should have done to begin
Net
with.
play tactics.
So if you found yourself in this position and you needed a parasol, I would have floated backwards and then parasoled to give yourself both the option of the ledge and the stage without him being able to just throw out an attack to hit you like that. So yeah, I would have just moved back in the float. What you should have done from the beginning
Jump around.
is after this hit, you should have just double jumped straight up or double jump away from the stage immediately
Jabs.
and
These are
then
net play
recovered high.
tactics.
It would have been much easier.
I don't know. I don't know.
And that hurts a
You know,
lot.
Peach can just shield grab and hold down, so if you do another jab, you can get down smash. So gotta be careful.
You did it again.
Grab
Run
and
off
hold
platform.
Down, so if you do another jab, you can get down smash. So
Run off platform, lose double jump. And
Works
I
a lot
definitely
less
heard it
good
that
in
time, so there's
land you can,
definitely no
get down
excuse.
smash, so gotta be careful. Works a lot less good in land environments. Smash. So gotta be careful. Works a lot less good in.
There's
jab,
no
you can,
fast
get
fall
down
after you
smash,
got
so
hit to land back onto the
gotta be careful.
platform quicker.
Works a lot
After you got hit here, I mean, you could kind of say it happened
another jab, you
earlier
can,
too,
get down smash, so
but there's reasons why you might not
works a lot
put DI in right at that point. But after you got hit
less
here, you kind of gently floated back
in
down
land environments.
and
Right.
left yourself in the air for too long.
Works a lot less good in land environments.
Right.
Can react to that stuff.
I'll forgive the mistake. It's a difficult one to get there. It's possible though that you can simply just attack and then press L at the same time, or whatever you tech with, just in the off chance something like that happens. Especially against Falco, where you'll be expecting to trade with down air sometimes when you go for those jump nairs.
Run the 2-0. We'll see if Trill got anything left in the tank.
It's a good habit to get into.
Looking poised to run the 2-0.
This is kind of feels like an unnecessary step
Wooly looking
with
poised
this
to
turnip play here. I'm not sure why you would jump when you could just throw it out of shield.
finally taking that stock.
Adding a lot of extra frames on
Wooly
the
looking
option.
Poised to
It was already so close to you, probably could have just thrown turnip and then comboed it into a down smasher or something like that. Grab.
run the 2-0. We'll see if Trill got anything left in the tank here.
Missed the
Wooly
dash.
looking poised to
You kind of
run the
corrected it pretty
2-0.
well though.
We'll see if
You
Trill
missed the
got
dash and
anything
then
left in the tank
went
here.
for a wave dash back. I would have gone for a wave dash forward to correct. You'll often see Armada do that when he misses a dash input. He wave dashes to kind of allow himself to still move, but also to buffer in the next dash input.
Oh, on the other side of his shield.
Okay,
here.
that's a pretty obvious mistake there with the getting this
On the other side of his shield.
dare
Just
instead of
rolls.
nair. Clearly,
Trill
you can
does
tell by
not
your
beat
reaction
the
as
roll.
well. It's not what you wanted. Losing your double
On the other
jump
side of his shield.
again.
So he just rolls. Trill does not beat the roll.
So it's kind
On the other
of.
side of his shield. So he just rolls. Trill does not beat the roll.
I would just question the choice to begin with in a way,
Other side of his
because
shield. So he just
it's actually
rolls.
difficult to do this
Trill does
fair
not beat the roll.
without losing the double jump. Technically, it's possible. If you really want to do this forward air without losing your double jump, the best thing that you could do here is already be ready to do your smash input to untumble. So at this point, you would smash forward in a direct, like smash input forward, and Peach would tumble out. And while you're tumbling, you'd be holding X, so you'd immediately snap into float, and then you could forward air. But you're chosen to do it by just double jumping and going into float, which loses you. If he had hit you out of that, then you would have only had Parasol to recover with.
Peach can live a long time though, so you gotta stay optimistic.
Possible missed fast fall after the air dodge. Let me just check.
You gotta stay optimistic.
Yeah, a little bit. That one was better.
Top platform, all said, I was thinking about how many.
All right, so there you have it. I think the takeaways, final thoughts on this one was to make sure that you practice and lab your run-off platform into float. because I would say of nearly every time that you did it, you accidentally expended your double jump in the process. Your fast falls in general, even when you may not be attacking, even on the defensive, you need to get down as soon as possible. Don't forget to import fast falls on your flow cancels, and to clean up a little bit of your L cancels. And I think that was the big takeaways there. Also, some choices about coming back in with a float attack but expending your double jump once again. So this is different. Aside from running off the platforms and losing it, you're also losing it when you're trying to return hit back to the opponent. So yeah, you want to think about whether or not that might be the wisest choice, because losing both double jump and float to go for one desperation attack is usually not a good idea. But I hope you found that useful, and yeah, I'll catch us next time.